And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Toe the Line with me, George Glinsky. Delighted today to be joined by the British Cruiserweight Champion, all the way from a Turkish steam room, it seems, Mr. Ryan
That's
Barrett.
it, yeah. That's it, yeah. I've just had a grease down in a shirt suit and now I'm in the fucking steam room.
Of course, Ryan has broken his phone, hence the lovely steamy camera. But that is Ryan Barrett behind there. That's not Eric Olsen with a beard. That is that is Ryan Barrett. But you know, we were speaking earlier. You're a British Cruiserweight Champion now. So, I mean, how does that sound? It's something you've wanted for so long.
Yeah, it's brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Since I dreamt up fighting in BKB, I've believed I would be a champion, and it's came to fruition.
And it was just an incredible night, an incredible fight against a very tough man in Dorian Darch, who's had an extensive professional boxing record. He's fought some of the best fighters in the world. Of course, as he always says, I've lost to them as well. But, you know, the likes of Eddie Chambers, the likes of Daniel Dubois, the likes of Anthony Joshua. He's boxed some incredible guys. So to have that scalp on your resume, it's got to feel pretty good as well.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it was just an honour and a privilege to have an opponent such as that. And then also to go away with my team and work out a way to beat him. And then actually get in and have the courage and the discipline and the confidence to actually employ those tactics when he's putting it right on you. And to start with, maybe don't feel like it's going the way it should. Yeah, and stick to the plan and actually prevail. So I'm really, really, really proud of myself and proud of the team and how it all came together.
Definitely. And I think it was stopped in the third round on cuts. Up to that point, I think he'd won both of the rounds on the scorecards. I believe one of the judges gave you one of the rounds, but he was winning. But the momentum seemed to be shifting towards the end of that second round. You started to come into your own. Just talk me through how the fight went from your perspective.
Listen, to us, mate, we weren't interested in winning on points. This is bare knuckle fight. Yeah, I don't win any of my fights by points. Yeah, I stop people or I chop them up like a fucking Sunday roast. Yeah, I cut every single person I get in with, and that's because the way I punch. Yeah, I'm evasive myself. That's why I don't get cut. And we knew Dorian would come straight at me. And the plan was to close the distance and land my straight shots, keep him at bay and cut his eyes open. And that's exactly what we did. And yeah, he might have been winning on points. It doesn't matter if you're winning on points if you cannot see out your fucking eyes. Yeah, his head was like a butcher's block by the end of it. And he said, I won this round, I won that round. Fair play, you might have won on the scorecards. This ain't amateur boxing. This is bare knuckle boxing. Yeah, and if you score a punch which makes someone have to stop the fight on a cut, then I win. And funny old thing, that's also the same all in professional boxing. So I don't understand why there's such an ooh-ah about this. I would have won if it carried on. Now, you wouldn't have won if it carried on. You wouldn't have been able to see, and I'd have carried on punching fuck out of you like I was doing then. In the third round, I've watched it back, I landed 4 shots to every one that he landed. So, yeah, you can say whatever you want. You can be as bitter as you want. But I took his best shots. He did fuck all to me. He took some pitter-patter shots off me because all I was trying to do was put them where they were meant to be. Yeah, and it dismantled his face, and I won the fight. Everyone's seen what happens when I throw shots with the intent to knock somebody out. They get knocked out. Yeah, when I'm throwing shots, turning the knuckles over with the intent to cut somebody, funny old thing, they cut people.
Was there anything that surprised you about Dorian Darch? Obviously, he's a big physical presence, a very heavy guy. Probably, I would say the biggest guy you fought so far in BKB. Of course, you fought some absolute giants and massive guys in the amateurs. I know. I can't remember the exact name, but a 6'6".
Richard Towers. He was 6'9". He was European champion as a pro. So I've been in with some big lads. But Dorian, mate, after what I've just said, I must say, very strong, very game, very imposing character. But that all worked in my favour because he came to me and did the work for me. Yeah, all I had to do was put the shots there, have enough bollocks to stay there when he came forward like a Trojan and stick the shots there and do the damage. And we did. That's exactly what we did. I stayed in it. I had a tear up with him when most people would think the best thing to do was box. If I'd boxed and separated, he'd have caught me with them big long shots and probably hurt me. Whereas I met them and took momentum out of them. Yeah, so there's a picture that he likes to keep posting where I throw a right hand, it lands and does nothing. He lands a right hand and pushes me back. The difference is his eye exploded. Yeah, and mind it didn't do anything to me because I met his shot and he's caught me on in the meeting it. Yeah, and I've caught him on the end of mine, which has done damage to his eye, which is all we were trying to do. I weren't in there beating my chest, so who's the strongest, who's the toughest. He'd have won that. Yeah, so we've done what we knew we could do. He's going to come at me trying to knock me out because he knows if he don't knock me out, his eyes are going to go. Yeah, he couldn't knock me out because he couldn't land, and when he did land, it didn't hurt me. And when I did land, it took his pace to bits. And you can't blame that on your skin. That's your lack of defence. And that's because you're such a tough bloke. You don't have to defend normally. This ain't glove boxing. This is bare knuckle boxing. If you face cuts, like everyone's cuts, if it gets hits with bare knuckles, you need to learn how to get out of the way of shots. Simple as that.
Definitely. And regarding the next fight, big fight, world title. The big thing that when we spoke was no friends in the fight game. You know, there's
yeah.
no.
Well, I disagree with that. Dan's still my friend. I'm going to get in and try and fuck him up. You know what I mean? It's not a no friends in the fight game thing for me. I can be someone's friend and fight them. Yeah, I'd get in and punch the living daylights out of my dad if he had the belt.
So you, in his sense, I think I'm not sure exactly what he meant by it.
I know what he means, and I don't take any kind of insult from that at all. I totally get what he means. He'll fight anybody, even his friend, and that's cool. I'm exactly the same.
And you've of course sparred together. You know each other very well. You've done a lot of work down at Fitness Factory in Birmingham. So I know you can't tell too much about spars, and there's obviously the code. But one of the things that came out of our interview was he said you would have spars that people would pay to come and watch. So what insights can you give us about those fights?
Oh, mate. Well, I can tell you about the last spar we had. The last spar we had, he absolutely battered me. So people would have paid to watch that. People who'd like to see me get fucked up. But like I say, me, Ricky Nelder, him, Eric Olsen, when we spar, we go hammer and tongs. And me and Podmore are no different. Like me and him, probably really competitive. Neither of us want to give in. Neither of us want to back down. We'll start off boxing, yeah, and it's a good even match. Then we start having a scrap, and then it's whoever on the day has got the bit between the teeth. And it's gone either way lots of times. So like I say, that is the reason I'm British champion, and I feel that's the reason he's world champion, because me and him spar together. So I don't believe I'd be in this position unless it was for him and Eric and Ricky Nelder. I can't leave them out because they're people who've massively brought me on. But Podmore, listen, when the cruiserweight champion sparring the heavyweight champion, that's the reason we're both now at the top of our weight divisions. And now to decide who's number one, we've got to fight each other.
And one of the big parts of your camp, outside of obviously working with Rendell Monroe and the team down in Leicester, is your sparring. And as I say, you've been down at Fitness Factory for most of your camps. You spar down there, Ricky Nelder, Eric Olsen, and of course Daniel Podmore. So how much of a loss is that going to be, do you think, not being able to go down there and get those rounds in?
Well, there's good rounds down there, but there's good lads. Leicester's a massive fighting city, and there's some good sparring there. Yeah, I spar with Jay Pateman. He's got world strength records with Eddie Hall. Yeah, fucking 19 stone single overhead shoulder press. Lads like Rocky Woodkin, who's sparred with Anthony Holmes, who's a top lad in the unlicensed circuit. People like Joe Ducker, Omar Kalik, Jimmy McCann, who's a former ABA heavyweight champion. I spar with some great lads down here as well. So, yes, that is my normal training place where I go for the rounds, but I don't have to go far in Leicester to get good sparring. There's also a professional MMA gym in my actual gym I work from, where there's lads like Dan Hardy, fucking Jimmy Wallhead, Josh Hamilton, Marcus Mee. These lads are all either top or upcoming MMA fighters that I spar with, and they fucking hammer arse to me on a regular basis. So I've got sparring coming out of my ear holes, mate. I've been sparring probably 3-4 times a week, every week for this fight.
Yeah, talk me through an average day in camp, because you're a very hardworking guy. You're one of the most hardworking guys on the roster, and
yeah. So I'll talk you through tomorrow. So tomorrow I've got Mikolai. Can't tell you his second name. He's trained Anthony Joshua, fucking Yusek Lomachenko. He's Ukrainian. Yeah, he was an amateur champion himself. I've got pads with him at 10 o'clock. I've got strength and conditioning with Rob Thurston at 1 o'clock, and then I've got boxing with Rendell at 7 o'clock. That's just a standard day in my life, not when I'm in a training camp, because I don't do them. That's a standard day. And that's why when you watch me fight, it don't matter what tapes you watch, the next fight I'm different because I'm learning and getting better every time. Some lads are just getting fit. Yeah, I'm fit anyway. I'm learning and improving in all aspects of being a professional athlete.
Why do you do it, Ryan? Because a lot of people, you know, they go into camps, they take a bit of time off, they enjoy family life, all these things. But, you know, you were in hospital, suffering with ulcerative colitis, and you kept training, you kept fighting, you fought while you were pissing blood. You know, you were in a horrific condition.
Yeah.
You do not give up. And this is something that you are doing all year round.
Yeah, I was pissing blood for my last fight. I was in hospital the week of my last fight. But I just look at it like this. Yeah, I've got ulcerative colitis. So fucking what? I'm a fighter. I'm not an ulcerative colitis sick case. Yeah, that's something I've got. I choose to get in and fight. That ain't an excuse. That's not a reason why I win or lose. I win because I'm a fighting man and I will get in no matter what against anybody, and the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm. And mindset, we've spoken a lot about mindset in the past, and it's one of your key assets in a fight which on paper, I know you'll probably disagree, but on paper is a very close fight, a 50-50. How much of that strength of will and willingness to win will be important on fight night?
Well, I believe we've both got that. We're both big physical lads. We're both very strong mentally, and it's who on the night can stay the most composed, stick to whatever game plan their team have came up with them with, and if that's not working, I've got enough in their boxing IQ to be able to come up with another plan. And if that one doesn't work, they've got another way to win. Yeah, if you've just got one way to win in a world championship fight, maybe you're gonna come up second, and that's what happened against me with Anthony Holmes. And I've worked on everything so that I have got a plan A, B, and C since then.
And visualization, before we go into thank some people you got to thank. When you close your eyes and you visualize this fight against your friend, as you said, your sparring partner, a guy that you've shared a lot of rounds with, how do you see it going? There's going to be no gloves. You know, there's going to be, well, you don't spar with headgear, but there'll be none of that niceties that you get in sparring. This will be an all-out war. This will be a completely different exchange.
Just glorious, mate. I just see it as glorious. No matter, Joe, for me, obviously, yeah, I visualise me winning and me visualising being world champion. But what can fucking go wrong? I mean, a world title fight with no gloves on against one of my best mates in the game. What can possibly go wrong? Yeah, win, lose or draw, I'm in there having a good time, fighting at the top of the promotion against the best lad in the world. Yeah, what can fucking go wrong? Yeah, I'm a happy man by even being in the position. I'm going to have my missus there with me, her son walking me out. I mean, it's just a glorious event for me, mate. There's no lose at all. No lose at all. And do you know me, I get in there and I roll the dice. I don't care what happens. Yeah, obviously I'm in there to win and I will be till the very last bell. But I don't care, mate. I'm getting in there to have a fight and I'll give that bloke the best, everything I fucking got. And if he beats me, I'll shake his hand. Anyone who can fuck me up, I've got to shake their hand, don't I? Anyone who can beat me up, I've got to be there, mate.
For sure. So thanks, people. You've got to thank you. You're in the gym now, so I'm sure there'll be a few people in there you'll want to thank, and just in your personal life, and people that have just helped you throughout this journey, not just this fight, but this journey in general.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people. There's so many people. So I'm just going to stick to the immediate people. In my training team, we've got Rob Thurston. He does my strength and conditioning. We've got Prep Perfect, who's a sponsor to do my nutrition. We've got Harry. Yeah, I can't give too many details about him because of his commitments with sports and sponsors and things that don't condone BKB. We've got Rendell Monroe, Jay Pateman, my Mrs. Lucy Cresswell. Other than that, anyone who helps me in sponsorship, support, anything like that, I can't thank you enough. But that is my immediate people, my immediate go-to people that without them, this would not be happening.
Definitely. Well, can't wait. Well, I think we're 2 weeks away now. So two weeks and 5 days at the time of this interview, or 2 weeks and 6 days, 5 days. We're 2 weeks and 5 days away. I'm looking at my calendar frantically there. It's not long, you know, for anyone that wants to get this this fight on pay-per-view. It's on Fight TV. Tickets are still available. You do not want to miss this one. And who knows? This could be fight of the night. Ryan, thank you for your time.
Cheers, George.